It's probably in the bathroom medicine cabinet, right behind the toothpaste, or in that kitchen drawer with the takeout menus and dead batteries. If you're over 60 or can feel it coming, there's a high chance one of the most dangerous things in your house isn't the stairs or the icy driveway. It's sitting in a plastic bottle with a child-proof cap. You take it every day because a well-meaning doctor told you to, or because you picked it up at the pharmacy yourself, trusting the promise on the label. Here's the unsettling truth almost nobody tells you. The human heart wasn't designed for a lifetime of chemical engineering. Some of the most popular, most prescribed, and most ordinary pills are quietly rewriting the rules of your cardiovascular system, one dose at a time. We're naming names today. 9 specific substances, things you probably recognize. We'll trace exactly how they sabotage the delicate machinery of your arteries and chambers. No medical jargon or confusing charts. We're telling a story because your health is the most important story you'll ever live. By the end, you won't be a passenger anymore. You'll have the questions for your next appointment, and you'll understand why sometimes less really is more. Stick around. The biggest surprise isn't the drug you expect. It's the one you thought was completely harmless. There's a hidden architecture to heart attacks and strokes. It's not usually a bolt from the blue. It's a cascade, a slow erosion that happens when 4 specific levers in your body get thrown out of balance. Think of them as the 4 silent regulators. Blood pressure, the force inside your veins. Blood thickness, how easily your blood turns into a sticky clot. Vascular tone, the ability of your arteries to relax. And heart rhythm, the electric pulse keeping you alive. Every medication on our list pulls at least one of these levers. The dangerous ones pull 2, 3, or all 4 at once. You probably aren't on just one. You might be on 2 or 3. The risk doesn't add up politely. It multiplies. Let's start with something so common it's probably in your house right now. That bottle you grab when your back aches or your knee acts up. Ibuprofen or Naproxen. NSAIDs. Advil, Motrin, or Aleve. The workhorses of the over-the-counter aisle. If you're taking them regularly, they're undoing the good work of every healthy meal you ate. They tell your kidneys to hold salt and water. More fluid, higher pressure. They change the balance of clotting chemicals, making platelets stickier. Higher pressure, pushing stickier blood. In 2015, the FDA strengthened the warning on every bottle. Heart attack and stroke risk can show up in the first few weeks of regular use, not decades. The people who get caught take them every morning for arthritis, thinking it's routine. What do? Ask your doctor about acetaminophen, the ingredient in Tylenol. Or better, a topical gel you rub on the sore spot. It treats pain locally and barely enters your bloodstream. If you absolutely need an NSAID, use the lowest dose for the shortest time. If you have high blood pressure and take these daily, tell your doctor. That single sentence changes everything. Now to the seasonal shelf. Allergy or cold medicine for a stuffy nose. Oral decongestants. Pseudoephedrine, Claritin D, or Mucinex D. They clear your nose by tightening blood vessels in your sinuses. But those vessels can't tell your nose apart from the rest of your body. They shrink vessels in your arms, legs, and heart. Pressure jumps. Your heart pushes harder through narrowed pipes. For a younger body, minor. For a 60-year-old with stiff arteries, a real spike. You took something for your nose, your heart paid the price. What to do? Saline spray or steroid spray like Flonase. Neither raises blood pressure. Read labels on combination cold medicines. Decongestants hide in cough products. If you have high blood pressure or heart history, leave the oral decongestant on the shelf. Now something more serious. Prednisone. Those dose packs for arthritis, asthma, or skin conditions. Steroids are biological weapons against inflammation. Sometimes you need them, but they pull 3 of 4 levers at once. They make you retain fluid, driving pressure up. They raise LDL, the bad cholesterol. They nudge your blood toward clotting. A 2017 BMJ study of over 1 million adults found even short steroid courses linked to measurable jumps in heart attacks and clots weeks later. The real danger is the person on them again and again. Dose pack every few months. Nobody adds up the yearly total. What to do? Ask your doctor. Is there a non-steroid option? A lower dose? If you truly need it, keep the course short. Check blood pressure and blood sugar while on it. Golden rule: never stop steroids suddenly. Your body slows natural production. Stopping cold can cause crisis. Only come off with a doctor tapering the dose. Now hormones. For women, estrogen for menopause. For men, testosterone for low energy. Hormones change blood chemistry. They make platelets stickier. A clot where it shouldn't be causes most heart attacks and strokes. The Women's Health Initiative, that massive 2002 federal trial, was stopped early. The hormone arm showed more clots and strokes. That doesn't mean hormone therapy is off the table. For many, it's the right call. But dose, form, and length matter tremendously. If you're on hormones, ask about the lowest effective dose for the shortest time. For estrogen, the patch or gel carries less clot risk than the pill. It avoids the first pass through the liver. Make sure your clot history and family history are on the table. Now we blow the lid off. The medication almost nobody suspects. Number 5. The thyroid pill. Levothyroxine. Millions of older women and plenty of men take it every morning. The medication isn't the villain. The dose is. Your thyroid is the speed dial for your whole body, especially your heart. Most people get a dose years ago and never recheck it. But as you age, your body often needs less. The dose perfect at 52 can run you too fast at 68. Slightly too much thyroid hormone, year after year, pushes the heart toward atrial fibrillation, a fast, chaotic rhythm, a leading cause of stroke. The Framingham Heart Study found that when your thyroid runs even a little high, your risk of that rhythm roughly triples. The tell is a racing or fluttering heart, a resting pulse faster than it used to be. The fix is easy. Ask your doctor for a simple TSH blood test. Ask if your dose is still right for your age. A small adjustment can protect your heart. Number 6. The hard pill to swallow. Heartburn pills. Proton pump inhibitors. The purple ones. Omeprazole, esomeprazole. Prilosec, Nexium. Effective at shutting down stomach acid, but over the long haul, they lower your body's supply of nitric oxide. That's the chemical your vessels use to stay relaxed. Less nitric oxide means stiffer, tighter arteries. A Stanford team in 2015 looked at hundreds of thousands of patient records. Long-term PPI users had higher rates of heart attacks. They can also blunt clopidogrel, a blood thinner some heart patients depend on. The problem is how they became forever pills. People start for a few weeks of heartburn. They're still on it a decade later. No review, no end date. If you genuinely need one for a diagnosed condition, fine, keep taking it. But if you drifted onto it for everyday heartburn, ask about stepping down to a gentler acid reducer, or treat the cause with smaller evening meals. Don't lie down too soon after eating. Come off the autopilot with your doctor's blessing. Number 7. Most people have never heard of them, JAK inhibitors. Heavy hitters for autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, certain bowel diseases, eczema. Their names end in tenib, tofacitinib. The warning is clear. A 2022 trial called Oral Surveillance compared one of these to an older option. Higher rates of heart attack, stroke, and blood clots, especially in people over 50 with heart risk factors. The FDA put its strongest boxed warning on the label. If you have a serious autoimmune condition, these drugs can give you your life back. This isn't fear, it's a focused conversation. If you're over 60 and on one, ask your specialist how your personal heart and stroke risk weighs against the benefit. Ask if an older, gentler option could control your disease. Have this conversation every year. Number 8 bothers me the most. Atypical antipsychotics. Quetiapine, risperidone, Seroquel. They have real uses for severe mental illness, but they're handed out too often to older adults simply for sleep or dementia agitation. They hit two levers hard. They disturb metabolism, driving weight gain and blood sugar up, aging arteries. They can change the heart's electrical timing, setting up dangerous rhythm. The FDA has a boxed warning. In older adults with dementia, these drugs raise the risk of stroke and death. The danger is the quiet sleep prescription that becomes a nightly habit nobody revisits. If you or someone you care for takes one mainly for sleep or agitation, question it first. Ask the doctor if it's truly needed, if the dose can come down, and what non-drug options exist. Like steroids, don't stop abruptly. Come down slowly with the doctor steering. Finally, number 9. Opioids. Oxycodone, hydrocodone, tramadol. For chronic back, joint, or nerve pain, most think of breathing risk and addiction risk. They're right. But there's a heart story too. Opioids dull the nervous system that steadies heart rate and breathing overnight. Hardest on an older heart. A 2016 JAMA analysis found long-acting opioids linked to higher death rates from heart causes compared with other pain treatments. The risk builds month after month for pain that never settles. If you're on long-term opioids, the goal is the lowest dose that keeps you functioning. Ask about approaches that don't run through the opioid system. Physical therapy, certain nerve medications, targeted injections, and taper with your doctor, never alone. Let's put it together. Meet Joe, 68, retired electrician. Never missed a pill. On paper, he did everything right. Blood pressure pill on schedule, walked every morning. But his pressure sat in the 150s and wouldn't move. One morning, his heart fluttered in a way that scared him into the office. We laid his whole cabinet on the desk. Ibuprofen daily for his knees.
an over-the-counter heartburn pill for years, a decongestant most mornings for allergies, a thyroid dose set 12 years ago, never rechecked.
4 ordinary things, 3 bought without a prescription, all 4 pulling on his heart at once. Joe didn't need a new medication. He needed 3 old ones looked at. We rechecked his thyroid, brought the dose down. That settled the fluttering. Caught early atrial fibrillation in time. Swapped daily ibuprofen for topical gel and Tylenol. Dropped the oral decongestant for saline spray. Within months, his pressure dropped. His rhythm steadied. He felt like himself for the first time in years. Same man, same kitchen. Quiet corrections. Here's the thread through all 9. Every one works on the same 4 levers: pressure, clotting, vessel tone, rhythm. Once you see which lever a pill pulls, none of this is mysterious. You don't need a medical degree to protect your heart. You need to know pills can be part of the problem. You need the right question for each one. What to do starting tonight. First, go to the cabinet. Write down everything, prescriptions and over-the-counter. The OTC ones count just as much. Second, mark which of the 9 you found. Painkillers, decongestants, steroids, hormones, thyroid, heartburn, autoimmune drugs, sleep pills, opioids. Third, pick one question for your top concern. For thyroid, ask for a TSH recheck. For daily NSAIDs, ask about safer options. For long-term heartburn, ask if you can step down. Fourth, bring the actual bottles or your list to your next appointment. Put them on the desk. That single act does more than any supplement you could buy. One firm line before you go. Do not stop any of these on your own. Steroids, opioids, sleep drugs are dangerous to quit suddenly. Conversations are for your doctor's office, not your bathroom. And if you ever have chest pressure, pain in your arm or jaw, sudden weakness on one side, a drooping face, or trouble speaking, that's not a medication question. Call 911 immediately. These changes are for the long run, not an emergency already happening. There's another layer to this story. The pills in your cabinet aren't the only things affecting your blood. In most kitchens over 60, there's something else doing some of the very same things to your heart, and almost nobody suspects it. Everyday supplements people take to feel healthier, things like fish oil, vitamin E, ginkgo biloba, and even certain herbal teas, can thin or thicken the blood significantly. When combined with these medications, the effects don't just add up, they multiply. Fish oil with blood thinners, or NSAIDs, can increase bleeding risk to dangerous levels. St. John's wort can speed up the breakdown of heart medications, making them less effective. Calcium supplements can disrupt how your arteries relax. Most people don't think of supplements as drugs. They assume natural means safe. But natural doesn't mean harmless. Natural means unregulated. And unregulated means you're taking a risk without knowing the odds. So when you write down your medications, write down your supplements too. Every vitamin, every herbal capsule, every powder. Bring that list to your doctor. Your heart doesn't care whether a substance came from a pharmacy or a health food store. It only cares about what that substance does. This is the part nobody talks about. The average person on multiple medications is also on multiple supplements. The interactions are rarely considered. Your doctor might not know what you're taking unless you tell them. Your pharmacist might not ask. But that's not a burden. It's an opportunity. Once you know what to look for, once you understand the 4 levers, you stop being a passive patient. You become an active participant. You become the person who walks in with a list and a question. That's where real change happens. Not in a hospital bed, not during an emergency. It happens when you decide to take a closer look at what you're putting into your body. It happens when you ask the question nobody else thought to ask. So tonight, take a few minutes, open that cabinet, pull out every bottle, read every label, write it all down. Look at your list and ask yourself which of these 9 you found, which levers are being pulled. Then make an appointment. Not because something is wrong, but because you want to keep it that way. Bring your list, ask your questions, have the conversation. If your doctor seems rushed, push back. This is your life. You have a right to understand what you're taking and why. You have a right to know if there's a safer option. Most of these medications help people. They were prescribed for good reasons, but they were never meant to be permanent residents. They were meant to be tools, and the best tool is the one you use wisely, with full awareness. You don't need to fear your medicine cabinet. You just need to respect it, understand it, take control of it. For now, you have the list. You have the questions. You have the power to walk into that exam room and take control of your own story. That's something no prescription can give you. That's something you have to claim for yourself.